Welcome friends to another Figma tutorial, and today we are going to design personal finance tracker app inside Figma. Okay, so before starting designing our app, it is good practice to understand our user needs and pain points. Okay, so here is our first user need. I want a simple way to log my income and expenses. Second needs, I need a clear visual overview of my spendings and savings. Third need, I want to set a budget and track if I'm overspending. So these are the three main needs, and here we are with our challenges, and we break down all the main user needs into these smaller tasks. And here is the first: add income and expenses with minimal effort. So this is the first challenge. The second challenge is categorize transaction, for example food, rent and shopping. And the third challenge is view spending trends with simple charts and graphs. And the fourth one is set a monthly budget and get alert when exceeding limit. So these are the main challenges, and now it is time to start designing our app. So let's start. Okay, so here we are inside Figma, and as we can see, on the left side we have user needs and challenges, and on the right side we have already created our frames. So start in creating our wireframe. So first we need to select the text tool, so by pressing T key on the keyboard, and as we can see, let's type "Hey Alex," and for the type let's make it 20 bold. Let's align it to the grid, and let's remove the bold and make it 16. And for this text, let's type March 2025. Okay, now select both, press Shift A on the keyboard to convert this to auto layout. And as we can see, for the gap we will be using 8 is fine. On the right side we need user, so for this we need to press O on the keyboard to select ellipse. And Figma by default created 100 by 100 rectangle, so let's make it 48 by 48 and align it to the grid. Select both, convert it to auto layout, and make sure that it is center line and auto is selected. And this is our header. Next we need to create our current balance section, so let's quickly create. Okay, now we need to simply select this text and press option key and make it duplicate. So this is our second text, and let's make this current balance, make it auto width. And for this text let's make the size of 40. We need big text and make it auto width. Select auto layout, and instead of fixed width let's make it hug content. So here we need to type. Next let's change the color of this to make it light gray, and also select dollar symbol and make it light gray. So as we can see, here is our currency, and for this, instead of bold let's make it semi bold. It's looking good. And this is our current balance section, 40. Okay, so as we can see here, set a monthly budget and get alert when exceeding limit. Okay, so let's create a card style, and we will be using the same data. So let's duplicate this and rearrange this, make it black for this color, and let's make it 20 size, and let's type monthly budget. This one will be okay. Now we need to select rectangle tool, click, let's align it to the grid, make it the same width, and for the height let's make it 16, make it fully round. So let's type 99, and let's duplicate again, make it black. Okay, now select both, right click and make it frame selection. Let's bring it here. Okay, command X and paste it here. Let's align it, simply duplicate this, make it bold, and select both, convert to auto layout, make it horizontal layout, and make it fill container auto. So here we need type percentage. This will be 70%. For the spacing let's try to use 16 is fine, I think. And for the left and right let's make it 24. Okay, make it round. 24 for the color, let's make it gray. Okay, so let's try to use this light gray. Now let's simply make it fill container, and here we need to convert this to auto layout. So by pressing Shift A, and now we convert this to auto layout. So simply adjust this. This is looking perfect, but let's add some spacing from the top, from the left and right. So 32 is fine. And as we can see, this is our monthly budget. User can track and see if the limit is exceeding. Okay, so let's quickly select this text and make it bold. Now let's work on this categorize transaction, for example food, rent and shopping. So let's work on this challenge, and for this we will be using the same pattern, and Let's duplicate this and simply remove this section. Also, let's make this text. Okay, now select these two text, convert it to auto layout and make it horizontal center line. So make this, let's make the spacing 24 by 24 and remove make stroke. Okay, so here we need to add rectangle. Let's try to use 40 by 40, maybe 48 to round it. Okay, now select this text and 16 and select this, which is 8, and this is good. So this is our list. Select and make fill container, and here is our text. So this is our first list, which is salary, and let's simply duplicate this, select both, or maybe we can do one thing. For example, let's undo and let's convert this to component. Now duplicate it, keep the master component here. Let's quickly rename this to list, copy and paste here. So this is the list, duplicated list, and make it 16. Now let's duplicate it again. So make this one is okay. So this is our list, and let's quickly create title for the list. So duplicate this text, make it bold. So now let's simply convert this to auto layout and make it 8. Select this text and convert this to auto layout. 16 is fine, and let's adjust the spacing. So maybe let's try 24. I noticed this spacing is too much, so let's decrease, and first let's adjust the roundness, so make it 16, and for the left and right let's make it 16, for the top and bottom 16. Okay, so 16 is looking good, and now our list is looking perfect. So this is our list. We can now increase the spacing, so let's try 16, which is looking perfect. Quickly review our user need, and as we can see, here is our first user need. I want a simple way to log my income and expenses. So while keep in mind these challenges and needs, we need to create a footer. This is basically the home page, and in the center there will be add expense, and on the right side there will be analytics, and user can quickly see like view spending trends and simple charts and graphs. So for the footer, let's select rectangle tool again, click, and as we can see 100 by 100 rectangle created. Let's make it 80, and center line let's make it 393. Okay, and let's try light gray. Select again circle, ellipse tool, and this time we will make it 40 by 40. Okay, so now let's simply duplicate this. Okay, so let's try to make it 40 by 40. Now let's duplicate it again. This time we are going a big plus buttons, which is 64 by 64 pixel center line, and also it will be floating. So this is our footer. Okay, so now let's create our add transaction screen. So before start creating our add transaction screen, let's quickly review our requirements. So as we can see here, add income and expense with minimal effort. So while creating second screen, keep this in mind. Okay, so let's simply select our home screen and press Command D to duplicate, because we want to use the same UI pattern. So it's good practice to reuse our existing elements. Okay, so let's simply rename this to add transaction, and select this one and ungroup this. Still this is auto layout, but this one is now ungrouped. Delete this circle and rename this to cancel. This one will be add transaction, and simply make this fill container center line. So this is our header. Next we need to create a segmented bar. So for this, let's delete this element. Okay, and we will be using this same elements here. So let's bring it here and remove this section. Now as we can see here, this is the big title we don't need, so let's use this one. Let's ungroup auto layout, and here we need to align it, make it the same width. Now make it fill container for both center line. Now let's simply change the text, so make it income and expense. Now let's switch this, so expense will be the first and income will be the second. Let's make it expense selected, so convert this to auto layout. Let's add fill color first, 16 by 16 center line, make it fully round. Simply remove the pill from here and add stroke, make it light gray. This one will be black and make the text white. Let's quickly adjust this. As we can see, this is just text and this is a button, which is not good practice. So let's simply delete this one and simply duplicate, make this one is income, make it regular white, select text and make it black. So now as we can see, we have created perfect button for these two tabs. Now it is looking perfect. So let's quickly create our input field. Okay, so for the input field, as we can see, we have this element, so we will be using the same elements. Ungroup this by Shift Command G, delete, and let's quickly rename this to amount and detach this one, so we don't want to reuse this. Next we need to first let's ungroup our auto layout, delete this. As we can see now, here we can add our amount $0.00, make it regular. Let's try to make it fill container and center line. Let's delete this one, light gray. So this is our amount. So this is our first input, and as we can see, we are only using our existing elements and creating a new one. Okay, so now we need to create input for category and description. So let's simply duplicate this input, rename this to category. Now let's simply duplicate this text, and here as we can see, this one I'm just right drop down. Later on we will be using drop down. So right now I'm not focusing for icons and anything, I'm just focusing on structure. So align this text to left side, make it black, and this one will be, we have created our category. Next we need to simply duplicate this again and create description. Delete this text, make it light gray. Here is just a hint for the user. Next we need to create main button, and we don't need this section, so let's delete this. And for the button, let's simply duplicate this button, make it the same width. Let's try to use 24 for now, and let's make it save. So as we can see, once user click on add, this screen will appear, and here input for amount, category, description and expenses selected, and same will be for the income. Okay, so here is a small mistake, and let's quickly make it, instead of 0, make it O. Now this is looking perfect. Okay, so now as we can see, we have completed our home screen and a transaction screen. Now let's quickly review our challenges and work on the third screen. So here is another challenge, like view spending trends with simple charts and graph. So before duplicating or add transaction screen, it is a good time to create component from this section, because we are reusing this. So let's simply convert this to component, rename this to, okay, now let's duplicate this and press Command X, paste it, and here is our tabs. We don't need to create components from these because these are slightly different, and we will look at in final UI design. We will be reusing this section, but it will be slightly different, so let's leave it like this. Next, let's simply duplicate this screen, Command D, make sure the spacing is equal, so make it analytics, change this to spending analysis, make this one here. Okay, so this will be back button, and now as we can see, we will simply try to duplicate this. This is component, so which will not work. Let's detach this and make it duplicate. So this one is week, month, year. Okay, so this is our top section. Next we need to simply delete this, we don't need, and also the button we will be look at later while we are designing the final UI. So let's simply create rectangle for analytics. Now we need to duplicate this screen, so copy paste here. So here we will set categories. First we need to simply delete these two. Let's detach this, make this food. Let's delete this one. Okay, so as you can see, we have now these categories. Let's simply duplicate this again, and here make it auto layout, select this one, make it fully round, so this will be graph, circle chart. Okay, so now as we can see, we have completed our three screens, and here is our requirement. As you can see, a simple way to log in income and expenses, which we already did, visual of spending and saving. So this screen is perfect for this, and also this is the home screen. So we have almost finished our all requirements and challenges. So now let's quickly select our text, as you can see, and mark is complete. So let's check this. Okay, so here we are with our completed wireframe, and now it's time to create final UI design. So let's select all these screens. First copy and create. I have already created this new page which is UI design, and let's paste our screens. And I have already placed some icons I will be using in the design. So let's start making some UI adjustment. Okay, so select this title, make it this dark color. Select this second text, make it, let's reduce the font size to 14. This is looking perfect. Same thing for this. Select this and make dark. As you can see, here is two colors, so one is dark and one will be this light color. Let's try this color. This is looking perfect. So for this section card, we need to assign some proper color, so let's select and make this teal. Okay, select this one and make it white. For this light gray, also make it white. So now we need to select this base unlink, make it 20%. Let's check the roundness, maybe 16 is looking good, so let's leave it 16. Select this text, instead of bold, let's make it semi bold, and let's try 16. Okay, 16. And for the color, let's make it this dark text. I think this is looking good. And now let's quickly adjust this section. So here we just need to simply detach instance. Now let's quickly adjust the color of this section. So for the stroke, let's use this light color. For this color, here we'll need this light color. Is looking good. Select this title, change the color to this dark color, and select this subtext, make it 14. We will try to use 3 to 4 font size. Okay, so now select this text and make it green. These two will be red text, and select this. Okay, make it semi bold, and let's use 14. So as you can see, here we have 16 and 16, so let's try make it 14. Okay, so 14 looking good, and we will be stick with 14. Let's make this one is also 14. Everything is looking perfect. Okay, so now let's quickly check color of this section, and we need to use this light color, and I have already copied the icon, so press Command X, paste to replace. Okay, and let's make it dark. Now select this icon, Command X, make paste to replace, select both, and center line. Okay, so these are the icons. Now we need to change the color of this section. 64 is looking good, center line, and select this plus icon, paste. Okay, let's change the color to white, and here we are with our screens. Now let's place these icon here. As you can see, if I place the icon here, so it is auto layout, which will not work. So press Command X, double click, and right click, frame selection, paste here, center line. Okay, option VH. Okay, so now let's quickly adjust the spacing. So for the spacing, let's use 24 for the top and bottom, 24 for this section, 24 for this section. Okay, and let's quickly check the spacing here, which is 16, looking good, and here is 16. Let's make it, it is looking good. Let's try to add 32. 32 is also looking good, so let's use 32. Okay, and our screen is ready, and now it's time to work on this screen. Apply the same colors to this screen, make it this dark, select the cancel, and let's try this color. Now select this black, make it the same teal color. For the income, maybe we can use this light color, or let's try this dark color. Okay, so for the gray, let's make it this light color, make it proper white. Yeah, this is looking good. And now let's quickly change black color, and this is basically border, so let's use this border color. Okay, so this is looking good. Now let's quickly check. Let's select this text, and I have already the icon, so I will just copy and paste to replace. Okay, now let's quickly work on this. Change the color, make it this color. Now let's quickly check the size of this, which is 14 semi-bold. This is looking good. For the button, try to use 24 and teal color. No, we will be using this dark color, and this is our second screen. Now let's work on the third screen and add some visual. Same thing for this. Let's select this text and make it this dark. Okay, so here I have already the icon, so just paste to replace. Okay, change the color, so make it this color. Now same thing for this, just make it black to this teal color. Select this and make this light. Okay, so I have used community for graphs and charts. You can also search. So let's select this and paste to replace. Okay, so I have used community and find this beautiful chart. Let's quickly update the color. So let's make it this color. Let's change the color. Let's try this teal color. This is looking perfect. Now we need to reuse this section. So copy, instead of replacing, let's make it perfect. Make it semi-bold 14, and here we are with, we can also create now text style from these and add, but let's use it this way. Okay, so let's check the size of this text, which is 18. This need to be 14, and this light text, same thing here. So let's make it this light color. For utility builds, right click frame selection and paste this icon. Okay, so I have already this icon. Let's use it for the utility builds. Okay, and for the rent we have this icon, so let's use it. Okay, so for the food I will be using this icon, center line, and here we are with our beautiful looking icon. So now let's replace this with the graph. Right click, paste to replace, and as we can see, here is our beautiful looking graphs. Right click, paste to replace, and paste to replace. We can change, let's try to use this 15%. So here we are with our icons colors, and now let's use different colors. Okay, so let's use this green color, maybe this. Let's quickly check the spacing. So 40 is fine, make it 32. Let's leave it 40. Okay, so here we are with our 3 screens design. Now it's time to make it interactive and create prototype from these 3 screens. So let's quickly click on prototype tab and select our first screen. So here, once user tap on this plus, it will navigate to this second screen. The trigger is on click and instant is fine, so let's leave it. And this third icon will be linked to this screen and instance. Okay, and now we need to select these back button, so let's link it back to the home screen. Select this cancel and link it to the home screen, and instance is fine. Okay, so let's leave it simple. Now let's quickly click, and as you can see, here is our home screen. Now let's click on this plus, and here is our adding screen. Everything's looking perfect. Cancel, and here is our analyze. Okay, that's it for the today. Hope you like the video. Please like, share in your circle, and also if you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and click on bell icon. Okay, and stay tuned for the next tutorial. Thanks.